Hey you guys, welcome to our new video. Today we will unbox, assemble and test the Creality Ender 3 3D printer. This printer has a printing area of 220mm by 220mm by 250mm, and according to the manufacturer, it can print PLA, PETG, ABS and TPU. Check the video description for some links where you can get this printer with discount. And now, Sandra will unbox the printer and assemble it. Inside the box, you will find the assembly instructions and a couple of bags. In the first bag, we can find several tools to help with the assembly. A wire cutter, several screws, plastic parts, zip ties and the X-axis belt. We also find the spool holder mount. Inside the second bag, we find 50 grams of PLA filament, a needle to unclog the nozzle, the X-axis idler, a memory card and adapter, a spare nozzle and a spare fitting, and the Z-axis and stop switch. Next, we can find a spatula, the power cable, a couple of 20 by 20 metal profiles, a couple of 20 by 40 metal profiles, and inside them we can find the lead screw. The graphic display, the Z stepper motor and the hot end attached to the X carriage, a part of the spool holder and the right Z carriage, the left side Z carriage together with the extruder and the extruder's stepper motor. Next is the bottom side of the printer and the power supply. This one is a 24-volt model. We found the display flat cable cut. Probably was cut during packing, but it's an easy fix. Now that we have all the parts out, let's start the build. But before that, Let's check what's inside the hood. Inside, we can see the Creality board. It's equipped with an 8-bit Atmel microcontroller and 4 non-replaceable A4988 drivers. The connectors are all labeled and secured with a bit of hot glue. This way they don't get disconnected during transportation. All the wires that are connected to the green screw type connectors don't have any ferrules, so I need to address this before the first power on. Not only they don't have ferrules, but they are also tin. I feel much safer by gripping ferrules to the high current wires. Moving on to the build, let's start by identifying the correct vertical beams. They have unique holes, so they are easy to check. Each is secured by a couple of long screws underneath. They must be well tightened. Next, we can install the display. The flat cable is connected to the EXP3 connector. The power supply is installed at the right back side. At the left side, we install the Z end stop. Also at the left side is the Z stepper motor. For this next step, we will not follow the assembly instructions, and I will explain why in a second. Start by sliding in the left and right Z carriages. Adjust the wheel grip by turning the eccentric nut on each carriage. Now get the horizontal profile and place it against the carriages. This will tell you if you have the vertical profiles installed correctly by checking if this horizontal one lays flat on both carriages. And as you can see, it does not. You need to take both carriages out and adjust the vertical beams. So, untighten both vertical profile screws and adjust them. As you can see, they have a lot of play available to adjust correctly. Next, get the hot end assembly and slide in the horizontal profile. Adjust the wheel grip by adjusting the eccentric nut. Next, secure both Z carriages to the horizontal profile. Once finished, slide the assembly in. Get the top profile and install it at the top. Don't tighten the screws just yet. Measure the distance of the vertical profiles at the top and at the bottom. If you need, adjust them and tighten the top profile. Install the X idler. You don't need to tighten it just yet. Get the belt and secure one end under the X carriage. Pass it around the idler, then under the wheels, and around the X motor gear. Finally, secure the other end under the carriage. Now, adjust the tension of the belt by pulling the idler and tighten it. Install the lead screw. Make sure it goes in the coupling and secure it with the set screw. After installing the lead screw, check its alignment. Move the Z halfway up and use the vertical beam as reference. The lead screw must be parallel to the beam. When facing the backside, check the distance from the lead screw to the beam. Adjust the Z motor's position to align the lead screw. When facing the side, also check the distance from the lead screw to the beam, but adjust by adding shims between the Z motor and the vertical beam. Next, stretch the Y-axis belt by pulling the Y-axis idler. Tighten all 4 screws. Check the wheel grip of the bed carriage. Adjust both eccentric nuts. Get the spool holder parts and install it at the top left side of the printer. insert the ptfe tube in the extruder fitting. Also check if the other end of the tube is correctly inserted into the hot end. Connect the power cable, the Z-axis stepper motor, connect the extruder stepper motor, the X-axis stepper motor, connect the X end stop switch, and the Z end stop switch. Last but not least, connect the main power cord. Before turning on the printer, make sure you have the input voltage selector correctly set up to match your country's main voltage. Now we are ready to turn on the printer for the first time. The print bed is equipped with a built-tack-like surface that you can print on. But as usual, we prefer to print on masking tape to preserve the bed as new. So you can skip this part if you prefer to print directly on the bed. And now we are ready to home the printer. Before the first print, we need to level the bed, so get a 0.1 mm thick piece of paper and level the bed. Rotate the knobs under the bed and adjust so that you can feel the nozzle touching the paper. Adjust all 4 corners and repeat as many times you need until all 4 are at level. Place your filament on the spool holder and insert the filament. For our first print, and as usual, we like to print the G-code included in the SD card. This way, we can see what this printer is capable of. There was a very intense burn smell coming from the hot end that made me open all the windows. This smell is probably coming from the materials used in this hot end. I never noticed any smell in any of my other printers before, but after reading a bit, people say it's normal with this printer and goes away after some prints. During the print, I checked each motor temperature. They are all warm to the touch, but well under the max temperature allowed. And the result is this cute dog. It turned out great. Next, we sliced a bigger and longer to print model. We used PLA filament once again. And this is the result. Not bad at all, I must say. And that's it, you guys. More information will be shared soon, so don't miss it. As always, you can follow us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you like our work and wish to help, you can with Patreon and PayPal. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!